Simon, do you feel like you're getting back into some rhythm and groove now? Obviously, your first game back was tough. You were better on Sunday and looked like better again tonight.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little bit of. There's areas of the game I think we're starting to improve upon. I think there's some areas of the game that we've still got a long way to go. And there's still a little assimilation to go as well, obviously, with Brandon, to get him just a little bit cleaner and a little bit more up to date with what we want and what we need. It was great tonight, though. So, yeah, and just the guys learning how to work with him. I thought there's a couple of times tonight where we could have dropped the ball off to him. We didn't. And it's just getting those habits and getting that, that familiarity.
Obviously, you would rather have Joe out there, but in a way, would it help for Brandon to play a bigger role and bigger minutes to actually not have him out there for tonight anyway?
Yeah, no, well, obviously game planning was fairly short with this game because we had just come in from Tasmania, so we hadn't spent a lot of time. So it was pretty easy for us to go in and change the plan. It wasn't like we'd spent the whole week with plan A and then all of a sudden changing it up. So fairly seamless, I thought, with Brandon as the starter, and it allowed us to be a little bit more aggressive in the pick and rolls. And I thought even getting up the floor, we're just a little bit more mobile, and we're able to turn them over. And I think Brandon was a big part of that.
Can you talk about Mitch Creek right now? Because I'd be amazed if he's not leading MVP voting, and his game tonight was massive again. He's in some pretty special form.
Yeah, look, he's been amazing. I'd love it if he'd get to the free throw line a little bit more. He's not getting a lot of love there, but I guess they don't count the votes. That's a Brownlow, isn't it? Look, he's doing great. He seems to have a little bit more zest from last year. He seems to have fallen back in love with the game, which I think is important. And he's a great leader of this ball club. He's a great locker room presence, great instructor to his teammates, and I think his name could probably go with those three letters at this point in the season, but it's a long way to go.
Brandon, are you fitting in nicely with the Phoenix and enjoying being back in the NBL?
Yeah, absolutely. Very happy to be back in the NBL, and I feel like this team, the style of play, the scheme that we run, I feel like it's a perfect fit for me, and I believe that I'm kind of a perfect fit for them as well.
Next question.
G'day, Simon. You'd be pretty happy with obviously Mitch was great, you'd be pretty happy with the spread of scorers around Rizzo, Kyle, Xavier, Bashall getting on the sheet. Was it a plan to share the ball tonight and really try and run them ragged?
I definitely want to try and run them ragged. I mean, we were on the end of that against Brisbane the other week. It's pretty hard when you've had that length of a layoff that you say we're up the floor and certainly trying to pressure. I think it just sometimes it's going to end up that way. Last year, I think we probably had a better scoring spread than what we've had so far this year. I still feel like we've got a long way to go with offensively, with guys really knowing where their shots are going to come from. That's going to be time on the floor with our guys, and at some stage we'll get that. But even just playing together, I think they just start to pick up a little bit of the intricacies of each other, idiosyncrasies of where the guys want the ball and how they want it delivered and those things. So, yeah, I'm happy with the scoring spread. I'd love to see everybody get on the score sheet if we can.
Can you tell us a bit about Lachlan Barker? I mean, he's sort of a late call-up, I guess, and he actually got some meaningful minutes late in the third and early in the fourth.
Yeah, no, I trust him. I trust him to go out there and do a job. He's an NBL player. He really is. And, I feel like he'll be in the league full-time next year, if not before the end of this year with somebody. He's just a really high-level player, the premier player in NBL 1 in Victoria for sure. He just needed his chance, and tonight was his first. But I feel like there's a lot of games ahead for that young man.
Brandon, you obviously got the call up pretty close to game time. Does that change your mindset and how you feel about things? Does it raise the excitement for you to say that I'm in the starting lineup?
Not necessarily. I mean, you come into every game prepared, regardless of what the situation is, and your job is pretty much the same, whether you're starting or coming off the bench, and you want to come out there and you have meaningful minutes and impact the game as best as you can.
Can you talk a little bit about Mitch and his impact and how you and him have got on since you've come to the club?
Yeah, I mean, I've only been here a short time, but he's definitely, taken me in and helped me out a ton. Anytime that I'm kind of unsure of where I need to be or, what it is that I'm doing, or, even in moments where I feel like I'm not doing as well, you know, he's there to pick me up and help me out. And you know, like Coach said, he's been a great leader.
Simon, can you throw us forward to the Bullets? I mean, there'd probably be a little bit of revenge on the mind after laying a bit of an egg after the COVID break.
I wouldn't say revenge so much. You know, I think probably now, this past couple of weeks, and probably for the next couple of weeks, it's really about us and how we'd find our legs again and find our rhythm. What they did to us, they were fantastic against us last time. Certainly, we'll go out and look at what didn't work and what we didn't do. Like I don't think we had a great night in particularly any area. So, you know, there's a lot for us to go and strategise about. But yeah, no, it's not a personal thing. They're certainly better than us on the night by a mile. And yeah, we've had, you know, success against the Bullets in the past, and it seems to go to and fro both ways. So, it might be our turn.
Can you talk about what we'll see different? What can we expect different?
This guy's going to be different. He's here. Hopefully Joe Chi will be back in the lineup as well. I think just the energy. I think our defence has been really solid the last 2 games. Our pressure under the ball has been really good, being able to turn teams over and run off that. I thought that was the key for us tonight. It was just not just turning them over, but actually getting possession and pushing it at pace and getting good looks out of it. So I don't think we had the energy levels last game to do that. We started to get down, and then we try and get up the floor a little bit, and you can't because we got no energy levels. And it was just one of those things when we hadn't played for 30 odd days, and yeah, and we didn't have our lungs.
And just the last one, can you talk about what it's like going down to Traralgon and the importance of that?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, Country Victoria is such an unbelievable breeding ground for sport. Not just our code, but all sorts of codes. And to have the people here, like we could not hear a thing out there in the gym tonight. They were loud as all heck. So really taken aback by the people of Traralgon and what they were able to do for us in the game tonight. And I thought that they carried our energy levels and helped us, you know, continue to put pressure on the opposition with the energy they were providing us. So really happy to be up here. And I'm glad we put on a pretty good show for them tonight too.
Any more questions?
Let's hit the road.
Thanks, guys.